Alright, so now the final thing we need to do is take care of a few little details here. Alright, so let's get this done. Right here, what we're going to have to do is add that little pin piece right there. This sort of little pin that goes in there. So we're going to do that right now. I'm going to select this object here. I'm going to go back to my camera icon and go to Isolate Selection. I'm going to hit I to go to Raycasting Edge Mode. Select this edge. Alt middle mouse button, click the second edge to select the entire ring all the way around. I'm going to right click, go to Split Edges with Split Control. I'm going to move this split up like this, but I need to know exactly how far up to move it. So what I'm going to do is go up here to my camera options and turn Isolate Selection off. And I can see that I have to move this a little bit higher, something like this will probably work pretty good. Yeah, so something like that will work. Okay. Now, with this object selected, I'm going to go back and turn Isolate Selection back on. It's kind of a little bit of a back and forth. Let me hit the minus key to down-res this object to its lowest subdivision level. Let me close that PPG. I'm going to hit U to go to Raycasting Edge Mode, Polygon Mode, I'm sorry. I'm going to select these polygons right here. Select that little one up there, as well as this little one right there. And we're good to go. Now I'm going to hit Control D, extrude that and move it out like this. I'm going to go to my camera options, turn Isolate Selection off, subdivide this to see how it's looking, and you can see right there how it's looking. Let me check on my camera over here, my reference image. So I'm going to move this to about right here's pretty good. Yeah, I think that's going to work right there. Okay. Now let's go ahead and let's go to Edge Mode here. Select this edge. Alt middle mouse button, click that edge, and you should get the entire. If I go to wireframe mode, there it is. There's the whole ring of edges right there. I'm going to right click and go to Split Edges with Split Control. Move it forward to sharpen up the front right there. Although the front, well, yeah, we'll sharpen it up. And I'm probably going to want to sharpen this bottom part too. So what I'm going to do is select this edge, Alt middle mouse button, click that edge. Should have the entire ring all the way around selected. Right click, go to Split Edges with Split Control, move this split down like this. Just sharpen that up a bit. Okay, good to go. Now we need to make the hole right there where the little cylinder piece is going to go through, which you can see right there in our image. Okay, so let's go to Polygon Raycasting mode. U on the keyboard again is a shortcut. I'm going to select this polygon and shift select that polygon back there. What I'm going to do is right click and I'm going to go to Inset Polygons. And when this PPG pops up, we can control the amount of inset using this inset amount slider up here. And I want about an inset of about that much. Actually looks pretty good. Let me look at my reference image here. Maybe a little bit smaller. So something like this will probably work out pretty well. Maybe a little bit smaller, like right there. That's pretty good. I'm not going to get too picky about it. So by doing it to both polygons, we were able to do it once, but do it to two polygons at the same time, which of course saves us time. So now what I'm going to do is, with those two polygons still selected, I'm going to right click, and what I'm going to do is go down to Bridge Polygons down here. And that's basically going to bridge those two polygons and pop a hole right in the middle of this object. Okay, now we need to straighten that hole up a little bit. So to do that very easily, what I'm going to do is down-res this object. So I'm going to hit the minus key, down-res it all the way. I'm going to select this edge in there, Alt the middle mouse button, click this other edge in there, and that'll select, as you can see, the entire ring of edges on the inside. And now what we can do is we can right click, go to Split Edges with Split Control, move one split toward the end of the little tunnel right there, the little hole. We'll come to the other side, select this edge, Alt and middle mouse button, click that other inside edge, and we should have all the inside ones selected. Perfect. I'm going to hit the period key to repeat the split edge with split control again, and move this split all the way to the end over here. Now hit the plus key on the keyboard, on the number pad of the keyboard, to subdivide that up, and now you can see we have the nice little hole right there. Now if you don't like how this is looking very squarish on the top here, and I actually don't like that myself, so I'm going to show you how to fix that very easily. Let's go to Raycasting Edge Mode and select this edge right here. I'm going to hold down Shift and select this other edge right there, and then all I'm going to do is move that edge down, and I'm going to select this edge on the top, Shift select this other edge on the top, and these edges I'm going to move backwards like this. And what that does, it curves out that sharp edge and makes it nice and smooth. See that? So that looks a whole lot better than before. Awesome. So now the last thing is to actually put the little pin that goes inside there. And that's actually pretty easy to do. Let's go to side view here. Let's go to primitive polygon mesh. Select the cylinder. And what we're going to do is, let's take this cylinder. Let's not mess with any of these settings. Let's just close that PPG. What we're going to do now is we're going to take and flip this cylinder on the side, because obviously it's oriented the wrong way. And if we move this cylinder out like this, you'll see it's the wrong way. We have to turn it on its side. So let's turn it on the Z-axis, or this blue axis here. Holding down Shift while you turn it will snap it to 15-degree increments. Place it at either 90 or -90 degrees. It's still going to knock it down to its side anyway, so really doesn't make a difference. I'm going to go to my side view now, and I'm basically just going to move this into position right there in the middle of our little hole there. And then I'm going to use the scale tool to scale the radius down from this. Let's go back to our camera viewport here. I'm going to scale it out using the green handle, so it scales out lengthwise and leaves the diameter alone. Definitely edit that part out of the video. And you can see now there's our cylinder. Let's hit the plus key a few times to subdivide it, and you can see we have to do some edge fixing here. So I'm going to go to edge mode, and from a top perspective I'm just going to select these edges, right click, go to split edges with split control, and move this toward the end of the cylinder there. I'm going to select these edges right there as well. I'm going to hit the period key to repeat the last command. And there we go. Now that little pin object that goes in there is, well, it's there. Let me go in the side view and make sure if it's, yeah, it's perfectly in the hole. Perfect fit. Okay, so now let's do a little render from out here. And there we go. It's a very neat detail, and it looks very, very convincing. Now the last thing to do is to place the actual ring here, the pin, the grenade pin itself.